I am Pratap. Today we will discuss about material management. We will have an introduction about material management. The different types of material, the scope of material management, the objectives, functions and advantages of material management will be covered in this discussion. So materials are the matter or substance that objects are made from. So every object is made up of materials, and we can have different range of materials: metal, plastic, wood, glass, ceramic, synthetic fibers, any combined products, composites. Suppose it is a pharmaceutical company, then the active pharmaceutical ingredients, the packaging materials. So all these are coming under materials. And for any industry, these materials have to be managed. There should not be loss of these materials. The material should be of good quality. So several aspects are there through which these materials are to be managed. So the concept of material management comes. So before material management, let us first discuss what are the types of material. So for a business organization or a production house, we purchase some materials, then we put value addition to produce the finished goods, and in between we can get semi-finished goods, which we also can say work in process materials. So from the production unit point of view, we can divide materials into purchased materials, work in process materials and finished goods. Again, for any industry involved in production, we can divide the materials into raw materials, which are used for production of finished goods. We need packaging materials to package them, to package the finished goods, and in the process we also get waste materials. So we can divide the types of material into raw material, packaging material, waste material. So we will mainly restrict our discussion to pharmaceutical industry. So pharmaceutical raw materials means all those materials which are used for manufacturing of drugs. So that includes the active pharmaceutical ingredients, the excipients, the quality control test materials, the equipments, and the packaging materials we have separated. So the raw materials, whatever we use for production or manufacturing of drugs, can be listed here. So we must purchase the raw materials from an approved manufacturer, and it should be checked after purchase for name of manufacturer or supplier, name of the product. It should have a batch number, it should have manufacturing date, expiry date, and the condition of containers and materials also should be checked. The materials after purchase should be tested by the quality control department, and then only it can be released for use, and at every step it should be recorded. There should be proper maintenance of record. So two things are very much important, two documents. One, standard operating procedure of storage and handling of raw materials, and second, the register of storage and handling of raw materials. The storage of raw materials, the quality control inspector checks whether the raw material is placed on the neat and clean iron pallets or in racks, whether separate areas have been developed and maintained for storage. Quarantine area should have yellow boundaries, whereas non-conforming area should have red boundaries. Again, during use, coat, cap, gloves and masks should be used. Metallic spatula, spoon should be used to handle small quantities of solids. To handle drums, containers, bags, etc., loaders, lifters, trolleys, etc. should be used. So this is all about raw materials. Then packaging materials. So all these packaging materials can also be grouped under raw materials, or we can separately classify them as packaging materials. So it includes all the things or the components which surround the pharmaceutical product until its use. So once the tablets, capsules are produced, then they have a covering, a package, and that package can be your primary packaging, secondary packaging, tertiary packaging. So the tablets have a blister pack, that is your primary package. Then those strips of tablet are placed in a box, that is your secondary package. Then say 100 boxes are put in one carton, then that is a tertiary package. So the packaging material can be divided into primary packaging material, secondary packaging material and tertiary packaging material. For packaging of pharmaceutical products, we usually use three types of material: plastic, metal and glass. Each of them have advantages and disadvantages. The plastic has advantages like light in weight, poor conductor of heat, sufficient mechanical strength, unbreakable, transported easily, whereas it has disadvantages like it cannot withstand heat, it is permeable to water vapor and atmospheric gases. Metals have the advantage, they are very strong, sturdy, impermeable to light, and labels can be printed directly on their surface. But the disadvantages, they are expensive, they can react with pharmaceutical products. Similarly, glass has advantages like it is cheaper, it is transparent, it has good protection power, it can be easily labeled, but the disadvantage is it is fragile, it can easily break, and glass containers are also heavy. So the importance of packaging is to protect against all adverse external influences that can alter the properties of the product. It can protect against biological contamination. It can protect against physical damage. It can carry the correct information and identification of the product. So printed packaging material should be stored in lock and key system. Each primary packaging material should be given specific reference number and identification marks. Outdated packaging material should be destroyed by suitable method and record should be maintained. The waste materials can be divided into two types, trash and scrap. So trash means it cannot be used further, it should be disposed, and scrap, they can be reused. So provision should be made for safety and storage of waste. It should be collected in suitable container. The solvent drums should be washed before disposal. Before disposal, the waste should be classified as paper, aluminum foil, plastic, glass, metallic containers. There are different disposal methods. They can be returned to the donor or manufacturer. They can be drained through the sewer. They can be landfill or burned in open containers or can be immobilized. So material management is the process by which an organization is supplied with the goods and services that it needs to achieve its objectives of buying, storage and movement of materials. So it deals with flow of materials in the organization. So it includes material planning and control, purchasing, stores management, inventory management and other related functions. So these are coming under the scope of material management. So when you say purchasing management, it is a part of material management. When you say inventory management, it is a part of material management. Material planning and control is based on the sales forecast and production plans. This involves estimating the individual requirements of parts, preparing material budget, forecasting the levels of inventories, scheduling the orders, and monitoring the performance in relation to production and sales. Similarly, purchasing has many functions. They have to select which material to be purchased, what material to purchase, what to purchase, from where to purchase. They must select the vendors, the suppliers. They prepare the purchase order. They follow up so that there will be timely receiving of the materials from the supplier. Then they check for the quality and quantity, and finally payment is done after evaluation of quality and quantity. Similarly, stores management deals with physical control of materials, preservation of stores, maintenance of store records. Inventory management mainly deals with the stock. All all the goods in stock, or all the semi-finished goods in stock, all the finished products in stock, all the equipments in stock, whatever stock is there in the organization, that should be maintained by inventory management. So the objectives of material management are efficient materials planning, buying or purchasing of materials, supply and distribution of materials, good supplier and customer relationship, improving departmental efficiency, efficient production scheduling, taking decisions or making decisions, quality control of purchased materials, material handling, and developing skills of the workers who handle the materials. The functions of material management are purchasing the required materials, receipts and inspections of materials, storage, warehousing, securities and preservation, distribution of materials, disposal of overstock, scrap and salvage of materials, material cost control and cost reduction, and finally coordination and cooperation with other departments. So the advantages of material management are: it eliminates unproductive handling of the materials, it reduces idle machine capacity and thus ensures better turnover on investment, it reduces considerably the idle time of the workers, reduce operating cost and timely production, greater job satisfaction on the part of both the workers and the employer. The quality of materials is also maintained. Every inch of the factory space is properly utilized. The issue of materials is also facilitated. It helps in maintaining effective production planning and control. So material management includes purchase management, stores management, inventory management, material planning and control. So this is all about material management. Thank you.